in one of her live albums, did one of his songs and tore it up. Man.
Mark, what are the top? I mean, so people know. I mean, certainly Locomotion. Certainly, we're an American band. We're an American band. We're coming to you. I mean, that is just a great anthem.
Some kind of wonderful.
Some kind of wonderful. You had a few hits.
Yeah. Bad time to be in love.
Was Thin Lizzy a contemporary of yours? Were they a band you would have toured with? Why do they remind me of you guys? Is that a fair comparison?
As far as the power, as far as that rawness, they had the rawness that we had, but we came from '69, and I think they were a little bit later.
Okay, so Ken Burns does this special. I worked at a station called WLS. Talks about how the barn dance, country music. I'm going to make an annoying side note, Mark. This is why people hate radio people or former radio people, these side notes. When people don't want to hear me, I don't want to hear Mancow. I want to hear Mark Farner, but quickly, even though he is a Farner. Anyway, yeah, wow, too bad you're not an illegal Farner. You'd get everything free now. Land of the free. Well, not if you live and work. If you live and work here and obey the laws, you get two things, jack and shit. But if you're a foreigner illegally, everything's free.
Everything's yours, man.
Yeah. Where was I going with this? I'm not even sure I care anymore. I just, I lost it. I don't care.
Side note.
Yeah, no, the side note would be, I'm watching this Ken Burns special about country music, and I've just like 2 days ago I discovered someone named Farron Young. It's this hillbilly music. I like some of this old hillbilly music.
Yeah, man.
And they talk about how the Irish came over. And how it spun out of there. Obviously, it was poor people instruments, which included the African American community, but they were doing Irish folk songs.
Yep.
And then that went into the church, and then it became African Americans created rock and roll. And I don't know that that's exactly true. If you go with the Ken Burns special, where the Irish brought over these instruments and these songs, well, then how did they create it? And I find it interesting when I watched the Little Richard special. And I interviewed him a dozen times, and it was all about him being the fact that he was black and gay. That's all that mattered. Forget the talent. They focus on that. I interviewed George Michael several times. One of the most miserable human beings I ever met in my life. I was a fan. Just a miserable human being, and he lived miserably, and he died miserably, in my opinion. And it was all about he was gay. There's always been gay people in music, and the documentary I see is he was gay. He's gay, and he's gay. And I just, Abraham Lincoln, he was probably gay. I had that guy on my show. It's interesting how these, you listen to these influences, and nowadays, did you culturally appropriate these chess record sounds? I mean, it went from Grand Funk Railroad to Paul McCartney to Marvin Gaye to the Miracles to that was radio. Now there's a black format. Well, that to me seemed, and I came up in that system. That seems to me racist. I remember we used to listen to music.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a mouthful.
Bill Haley and the Comets, dude. What about that?
Well, what about
Rock Around the Clock Tonight. I remember, like when I was just, I was a kid that fell through the ice out in Lapeer, Michigan. We were playing hide and go seek around the fish shanties. And what they do is, when they cut a great big hole in the ice, when they're spearing for pike and muskies, they cut a great big hole in the ice. It's like looking in your picture window and then you with a spear. Well, and when you move the shanty, and the hole's still there. So what they do, they stick a bunch of trees, little shrubs and bushes and stuff down in that hole, so nobody goes in there and steps in the hole. Nobody told me that. We're playing hide and go seek. I say, I'm going to hide right in the middle of those bushes. And I jump up, boom, right down through the ice, dude. I was under the water. I came up and I was bumping. And Bob McCormick, man, my stepdad's buddy that worked in the Chevy, the shop with him, is fishing for me down there. And he grabbed the coat and pulled my ass out of there. Then I remember going up and taking all the wet clothes off, and my mom and Betty McCormick was sitting there listening. And I'm going, they're bebopping and stuff, and oh man, they're carrying on. I'm saying, wow, what is this? And I asked my mom, I said, what is that? She said, that's rock and roll, honey. So that was like my first little.
Wait. At the moment you died, you were reborn.
I was not dead, brother. I was still sucking air when he nabbed me out of there.
I had a drowning experience, and I did experience what they say is that when you talk to people that drown, they have a moment of calm. And I had just reached that, and then you die. I had reached a moment of floating, and it's over, and then I got rescued.
Yeah.
Did you reach that point? No, you were fighting.
No, I was fighting.
I was done fighting.
Yeah, well, I
was a little kid.
I did that 2012. I was done fighting when I had my pacemaker put in. I died twice on the table in the hospital.
Did you have a God experience?
I went in, brother. I was in the kingdom. I didn't even want to come back here, brother. I was set free from the silly notion of debt, of any sort of debt. You know, there's all this debt in our life. It's what people are moved by. It's not just the financial debt. It's the debt of unfulfilled expectations of other people. It's the debt of regretting you did something. You hold shit against yourself. It is time to let yourself off the hook. We got to set ourselves free because, man, Jesus told us to. What do you think, Mancow?
I thought we were going to do a rock and roll interview, but this just got better. A man of substance. I like it. Come on, you know I like it. I'm a believer, and
yes, you do.
It is tough with some of the devils that we've met, and some of the things that you and I see on a daily basis.
Yeah.
To remember that God is still on the throne, and you're looking back. Herod and some of these other delights must have had the same kind of feeling that one has living in a communist-controlled Biden America. And I don't want to take you into one party or the other. It doesn't matter. But we do know, regardless of what party's in charge, it's all fake. The real party in charge is the Trinity. So, all right, Mark. We're getting too heavy, are we? I don't know.
No, I think
I was at a dinner and they said you can't discuss politics and God, and I went, oh well, the two things that are interesting we can't discuss. Certainly, the most important thing is God. Can't discuss that. Interesting, isn't it? That's a rule.
Well, they let the little kid come out of us, because every time my little kid was told not to do something, just for the hell of it and to stand up against that bullshit, they went ahead and did it. So let's just be little kids again and get some of that freedom back into our soul, because it ain't about any of the political puppets that they put up there. I don't care which side of the fence or if the middle of the road. I don't care about none of that. I care about the ones who have set us up, and they are the ones who issue the currency to the world. Those families are laughing at us, and those families are running our currencies into the ground. Every country that they issue to, that every currency is dropping. And when they finally hit bottom, they are going to swoop in to our rescue with some digital slavery. And that's the setup.
That's the setup, and that's what's coming, and I know it too. And there's a lot of talk of what we're seeing in Maui right now is clearing away all the locals. A lot of old families there. Clear away the locals and get a lot of great new prime land. Yeah.
It's possible with the elf wave generators, and they can focus a damn thing anywhere on Earth.
It is amazing, all these focus fires, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Just
coincidence.
Hey,
coincidence.
Yeah, it's coincidence.
Wow. All right. I've seen you in concert so many times. Do you have a bit of the Kinks played my wedding? I'm a Kinks fan. I'm a
you kind of kinky
fan of yours as well, and the Moody's are an English band. I helped get them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stuff. But do you have a bit of are you a bit pissed at? You know what? Stop. Hang on. I want to go back to that. But wait a minute. You died twice. Yes. I'm one of the world's top experts on NDEs. I've given lectures and I've spoken about it for years. Near-death experiences. And I was at down the street here at the Wilmette Theater, something very witchy, where the guy said, "Do whatever you want. There's no hell." And wow. And I felt manifestations, as did others, that you could feel evil in the room. I don't always feel it. You feel it very often, but when I do, I mean, this was legit, some evil stuff. When people start talking about no hell, because I have spoken with plenty of people that went to hell. They don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
People that go to heaven, man, you can't get them to shut up. But people that die, you know, falling through an ice hole or getting a pacemaker or whatever it is. Yeah. You know the whole story about the guy that put a pea by the ice hole?
A pea?
Put a pea by the ice hole out in Michigan, and then a bear came out and he kicked the bear into the water and pulled the bear out dead, but got the fur coat. And it's the first time I'd ever heard about hunting by kicking some bear in the ice hole. The ice hole.
Okay. Yeah, the ice hole.
The ice hole. Anyway,
every time.
So people that go to hell don't like talking about it. People that go to heaven like talking about it. You went to heaven, it sounds like.
Yeah, man.
I had a vision different from a dream. I had a vision. My father had one, and I've had one so far, and it was a vision of heaven. And it was a waking deal, and I wasn't drugged up or anything. Anyway, you want to talk about heaven? What was your heaven like?
Hey, it was wonderful, man. I was set free. And I'm telling you that debt consciousness that I speak of, that is the plague of mankind, because we have been moved around by debt ever since we.
How do I get rid of it? How do you get rid of it?
You pray and you ask the spirit of love to show you where that anchor is, because as soon as you recognize past debt that's been hanging and weighing on you. See, debt is accumulative in its nature. It's a layer after layer after layer, and it just keeps pushing down on you. The more that it builds up, the lower you get, the harder it is to stand up straight and walk like a man. But debt is bullshit, brother. It's in our imagination. Think about that. Show me a box of it. Go buy me a box down to the drugstore, or back up with your dump truck and dump a load in my front yard. And I want to wade through that shit and see what it's really like. No, it's our imagination. Yeah. That's what controls our perception of debt. So debt consciousness, it's up to us to set ourselves free.
I was in Peru, and I met a bunch of people that had no Social Security numbers, the government had no knowledge of them. They're not on any records, and I just thought, wow, how wonderful that would be. And land of the free here. As we broadcast live on a very rainy, lovely evening, Muller Manor, my taxes are $45,000 a year. You tell me I'm free. Before and you know how much money one must earn to get $45,000. This is after they've taxed it over and over and over.
Yeah,
and the bastards want more. So we don't live in the land of the free. And I have a few ideas about that I'll share after I say goodnight to you. Mark, where was I going with that? Oh, I sense a certain bit of, and I like it, but America gave the world rock and roll. And did you take exception to the Beatlemania, to all that stuff? It seems to me like you had a hatred for that stuff.
I didn't have
the British invasion.
Well, let me tell you about the British invasion, because Janis Joplin and I felt the same way about it. We were at a festival down in Florida, man, West Palm Beach. We were playing the festival, and anytime Janis would go on first, she would hang out and watch us, and her and I would hang out together. And so she had gone on. We were the last band to go on before the Stones are going to come out. So Janis hung out. She watched our show, and we get on the helicopter. It's a Huey. I'm sure you know what a Huey is, man.
Yeah, wow, cool.
It was done up like a motorhome inside with the pin spots and all the shit, you know. It was nice. It was plush. So we fly over, land on the beach, and I mean, it's dark 30, dude. It's like darker than the inside of a boot. And everybody gets out, and all the roadies got their little flashlights, and they're, going up to the hotel. And I'm looking around, I can't see Janis. I said, "Hey, Ralph," I go up to, holler up to the main guy. "Is Janis up with you?" No, she ain't here. I said, "Give me one of them lights, man. I'm going back down to the chopper." So I go back down there. I look up in there, and I see her like massaging the sheets or the seats in this chopper. And I'm thinking, what the hell is that girl doing? So I step up on the rung and I go, "Hey," and she turned around, because that thing is still running, it's staying warm so that they can take the Stones out there, right? And she said, "You scared the shit out of me." I said, "Well, what are you?" And as I stepped up inside this Huey Mancow, She's got chocolate because inside of that paisley print, great big purse around her shoulder, besides the Southern Comfort and the Ripple wine, she had 11 dozen Hershey bars. And we're talking Florida on a hot summer night. So them are gushy. She's smearing gushy chocolate all over every seat. I said, why are you doing that, honey? She says, I want to mess up mixed britches.
Wow. I love that.
That is, and because British invasion happened 2 days before Christmas in 1913 when the Federal Reserve Act was signed in. Listen, every British band sings in American English. What do they say about when you copy? It's the most
sincere form of flattery. Yeah,
but the most sincere form of flattery.
You felt they were ripping you off.
I'm flattered that the English sing in American English because it just shows that we own rock and roll. This is where it started. It didn't start there. They copied us. And
Mark Farner, I saw you open for who? Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah, yes? Man. Yeah.
Good boys. I want to tell you that, and hear me out before you judge me. I'll just tell you, those big bellies of beards, the whole line of them at the front of the stage, and I mean, it looks like I don't know what the heck it looks like. It's this line of old guys with the beards, and I'm telling you, when they kicked into "Don't Fear the Reaper," it's about as good as it can get.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's original guys. You're there as well, rocking your ass off with great band, doing some of the great American songs from your songbook.
Yeah, man.
And that was a great night. Are you guys? And I just saw Nugent. He said it's his last. I doubt it, but I don't know if you're going to get him off the stage. He says so. Tell me what's next. Are you? It's not Grand Funk Railroad. It's Mark Farner.
Mark Farner's American band.
And you're on tour. You're on tour. Yeah.
I got new stuff. I got a new album already cut. I've got a video being made right now to the first song out of the gate, Same Game. And man,
we'll have you back.
Okay.
We'll debut the video or play the video anyway if you want to.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Your biography, I've wanted to buy it. Man, it's expensive. It's one of the most expensive bios on earth. I keep trying to buy it, but I can't get near one. You needed to print it more. You need to print more. Excuse me.
Text me your address. I'll send you one. I'll even sign a son of a bitch.
You signed my guitar last time I saw you. Mark, I want to end on a happy note. Can I bring up something horrific?
Please.
Okay, well, when I met you, and again, we're talking late 80s.
Yeah.
Maybe early 90s. So we've had a few years. We talk every day, by the way, Mark and I talk every day. Every single day.
Every day.
Your manager was a bit suspicious of me. I love that, by the way. I said, Mark, how often I talk to you? You go, every day. Every day. I said, I talk to him every day. I'm not some stalker. Anyway, I don't think I've ever brought it up again. If I have, but again, it's been many years. If I get it wrong, please forgive me.
Yeah, man.
In advance. But I remember you kind of saying, look, I wouldn't be out touring. I wouldn't be out doing anything. Grand Funk Railroad was great. I had a son that did a flip off a picnic table, hit his head, was paralyzed, and I'm out raising money to pay for his health care.
Right.
That's when I met you. I'm sure you're beyond that, but I just thought, wow.
Yep.
So what's you don't have to go into the whole tragedy, but and I'm sure you've pulled something from the ashes here, but what's the and I'm not trying to be cheap using this story, by the way.
No, you're not.
Okay.
You're being real, brother. It's something that happens in life. Accidents happen. And Jesse happened to have a few too many beers. That's what he told me in the emergency room, Mancow. He says, Dad, I had too many beers. And they were backflipping off a picnic table.
Hit his head.
And he hit his neck, and they laid him in the back of a pickup truck because he didn't want the cops to come up and show up and arrest these kids that were underage drinking out there.
I remember
And so, but if he would have got to the hospital within the first 4 hours, there's a 4-hour window where they can inject a steroid right at the point of that break and arrest the edema that was what eventually took his life. He became quadriplegic. He was on life support, and he lived here at the house with us. And
how old? He was 20 when this happened?
He was 21.
21.
Yeah. And he died in 2018, 4th of July. And he got hurt on the 3rd of July. Yeah. And
so, you talk about debt and having problems, and I have problems. My kids are both walking around. Right. Yeah. I mean, they're I look, when I pray for blessings, and we do tend to put them just in monetary form. Right. I mean, we do. And healthy kids and food and silly things we don't think about. I mean, I'm not silly, but you know what I mean.
I hear you, brother. And I just tell you, love them, because they're going to go through the world and they're going to experiment. But I'm going to tell you something. They can never find the love that you and your wife gave those girls. No place else but right where I'm looking, buddy.
Well, I have twins, and they're leaving here in just days.
Yep.
And
God bless you. God bless them. Angels around them, man. Pray angels around them girls.
I do every night, and a hedge of protection and station angels at the foot of their bed and around them at all time. And boy. Okay. Well, anything else you want to mention?
MarkFarner.com. Everything I sell is made in the USA, Mancow. I've never had my name on a foreign piece of material. If you found my name on something made in another country, I guarantee you it's a bootleg. It's a guarantee. All my stuff, I keep showing people. I keep trying to be an example of how to support our country and be a good American. Be a good American. Support your country. Don't buy foreign shit. Support our country.
Yeah. Wow. What a great idea. And I'm just looking at your shirt there, and it seems to me you can be anything you want in America now except normal. Your shirt says normal.
Yeah.
I can't read it. What does it say?
Normal isn't coming back.
Wow.
Jesus is.
Wow. End it there, man. End it. Hit the show open. Mark Farner, Grand Funk Railroad, Mark Farner's American
Mancow.
Love you, brother.
Love you, Mancow.
Hit the intro. Hit the intro. Hit the intro, Ralph. There we go. I love that guy. You heard Farner talking about those energy beam weapons and some of these things, and 900 fires was it that started mysteriously in Canada? And who buys up the land? Who gets all this land? When they destroy the land, who gets all the land? Look, I don't know if it was laser beams. They're saying Oprah has, 875 acres or something. Oprah with lasers. I don't know. But and then they say things like, wow, Maui's all burned up, but umbrellas are okay, patio umbrellas, and there's a tree that's fine. And I've been around fires enough to know that does happen. There can be a fire and your umbrella can be okay. I'm not convinced it was energy beam weapons, but please reach out to me on Instagram or talk to me. I'm watching everything on it. Did you see the delightful kids, those crazy kids in Chicago? They're crazy. Oh, they looted the United Center. Little Dirk in concert. Now, see, that just surprises the shit out of me. Because I wouldn't think, the world's going crazy when the kids at a Little Dirk concert loot. That's just, the world's going crazy. It didn't start with gas chambers, folks. It didn't. It started off with a one-party system that demonized all other parties and would only allow their message out through radio and things like that. It's called propaganda. Like the social media experience now, where if you try to post anything that's interesting, they shut you down. They limit your views and they block you. It's what happened to yours truly, the Mancow. But look at me. Life is good. The air smells sweet in Mancow world. Muller Manor, chicken face. What else did I get here? Ooh, creepy lizard. Someone sent me a creepy lizard. By the way, if your AC is higher than 74, I don't want to come to your house. You live in an aquarium. This is Dr. Sharon Horowitz sent me I travel with a big water pick. If you've never had a water pick and you want to, I mean, I'm telling you, that is a product. Have you had a water pick? It changes your life. And if you don't believe me, borrow someone's water pick, brush your teeth, and then use the water pick and look at the sink. It looks like the old country buffet there. But she's concerned about my oral health. Dr. Sharon. This is the Lord's Prayer on a shell. Huh? Do you know the Lord's Prayer? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Just keep going in your mind. Lizard, scary. Punching Trump pen. This is stuff I got sitting on my desk here. You know, I opened for Meatloaf, and we prayed every night. Remember the band Meatloaf? The guy Meatloaf? And he let me be part of a song with a shake egg. And every night I've been, many nights with the Smashing Pumpkins. And I wonder if just one night during Disarm, if they'd let me up on stage. Right there by the world's greatest drummer, the world's greatest living drummer, Jimmy Chamberlain. Shake egg. I'm telling you. And then there's this. You remember these? Maybe you have one. They used to be at all of our parties. Light up ice cubes. Ooh. Put those in a drink. It's so cool. Windy City Novelties. I got some of these for show audience members. We've got a small audience tonight. This is my book on CD, and someone sent this to me autograph, and I've never listened to it, but it got nominated to be nominated for a Grammy. I got beat by Hillary Clinton. I got nominated to get nominated. I got nominated. I was nominated to be nominated. That means nothing. But anyway, and I think this is, do you know what this is? A Faraday bag. So you put your phone in here and it disappears. It disappears. Nobody can trace you. Nobody can track you. And so when you travel, you may want a Faraday bag. And I got some for the studio audience. I'm serious. How great is that? Yeah. So it didn't start with the boxcars. I went over to the Holocaust Museum and got very sick. It didn't start with boxcars and concentration camps. It started with disarming. It started with taking control of the media. It started with censorship. It started with one party and too many good people not standing up. Too many people that don't want to speak up. And here I am speaking up. I had 2 million followers. And they knocked me down, and I got up to 177 followers. Now I've got hopefully about 4 of you have found me tonight, but cowards die 1,000 deaths. I'm going to die but one, and give me liberty or give me death. And that's what I believe, and that's still what I believe. So the Chi-Coms can frankly go F themselves. So what do you think of that? Einstein said, even the children are spiritless, and it would be a great pity if these Chinese supplant all other people on Earth. This is Albert Einstein. Even the children are. You ever see the movie IQ with Walter Matthau as Albert Einstein? It's brilliant. Even the children are spiritless. It would be. He was just in China when he said this. It would be a pity if these Chinese supplant all other races. From the likes of us, their mere thought of it is unspeakably dreary. I don't have any problem with Chinese people. I have Chinese friends. I really do. And I'm going to hear from Adrian now. I know that. Been to China. But their hive mentality it's coming for us. I believe it controls the Bidens. I believe it controls our government. And that's what we're seeing. 15-minute cities, controlled by social media, given a certain rating. When I went to take money out of the bank recently at BMO, they didn't want to give me my own money without a lot of paperwork. What is that? What is that all about? Well, control, communism. And the trend is not your friend. Yes, there are some brave young people There are some brave people that are speaking up, but too few. I've never understood it. I didn't understand when I was a kid, when I dealt with the post office or any other, the high school, any other branch of government, the IRS, the cops. At what point, when you turn right on red and get a ticket, when you get caught in the middle of I saw people on an icy road just sliding through. They couldn't stop. And I saw the cameras just stealing money from them. And then when you go to fight it, they don't pick up the phone. You can't get a court time. And, slavery. And people want more of it. I never understood it. I've never understood it. People want more. They want more government. They want more taxes. They want more tolls. At one time, I had 100 beehives, an apiary it's called, and I raised honey, and I have some small involvement in some hives with some people I know. And want to buy a hive, you have to go to the courthouse. I think I talked about this last week. You can't survive on this planet without bees. You have to go get permission from them to save the planet. Socialism is winning. Nobody is stepping up. The pendulum is not swinging. I hear this from all my friends, and so do you. You probably say it. Oh, the pendulum's going to swing back the other way. It's not. It isn't. And no one's coming to save us. And frankly, this is Captain America calling. We bailed you out when you were down on your knees, and now what do we get? We get the big middle finger. No one's coming to save us. Nobody likes us. And I can sit here and bitch, and I can do my podcast, and we can complain, and we can commiserate, and we can further be enslaved. And Mark Farner, our guest earlier from Grand Funk Railroad, if you don't know their catalog, look up some of their songs. But start with American Band. Digital currency. Oh, you have the Mancow show. Click. You're erased. You're now broke. Everything digital. You want to question the government, you're gone. Arizona is gone. Arizona is falling to communism. You look around Arizona, it sure feels like it's a cowboy state. Yeah, yeehaw. Yeah, no, it's commie lib. And they'll get Florida and they'll get Texas, and that's it. So maybe I can move for a while. But there's nobody coming to get us. Nobody coming to save us. Do you agree with me? Let me know. On Instagram, well, if you can find me, they put up lots of frauds. And, we certainly pray. We certainly pray. And I do pray every night. I pray every morning, and I pray often. But the second coming. Interesting comment. I don't really think about that comment. Yeah. No, we certainly can pray for, and we do, and we believe, and but we also are told not to be ignorant to what's going on around us. Let's, but this idea that their movies are failing. Yeah, Disney owns everything. They don't care. And I saw it with radio. But Mancow, you're the biggest star. Your show's number one. When you own every show, they don't need you to be number one. And look at radio. Cars are not going to have radio soon. It's over. Do they care? No, the same people that destroyed radio go on to the next industry, and they destroy it, and they move on like lampreys, suckerfish, cancers. They don't care. Mancow, you're number one, man. Yeah. But when you control both teams, you don't need a quarterback that's great. You don't need a hero. You just need, and listen to radio. And again, anything you hear that oh, wow, he questioned it's been pre-approved. You're not going to hear anything that's going to shock you on radio anymore. You're not going to hear anything anymore that is going to be interesting. October 4th, Kevin Matthews and I are doing a two-man show. Actually, I'm just a guest at the Arcada Theater in St. Charles. And then tomorrow night, please text me or let me know through Instagram. There's a 2-hour special on Vice about the radio battles of the 90s, of which I am included. And I think you'll learn some things. And I think if you weren't a Mancow fan, once you hear the truth, once you see the truth on Vice tomorrow night, Dark Side of the 90s, a rare 2-hour special. If you weren't a Mancow fan, you're going to say to yourself, my God, what did I do? What did I do? How wrong was I? Well, you got a video? Let's play a video. Let's play a video. We got little videos here.
Right there, famous in Chicago.
Put that up full screen.
$6.
$6 for a rainbow cone.
Start licking.
Wow. So they're inside some of the Bona Beefs. The place was immaculate. The Bona Beef was immaculate. I've never been in a Bona Beef. They brought food by my show, but I was always a Mr. Beef guy. I got to tell you, the Bona Beef, absolutely, look at that. Absolutely clean as can be. Rainbow cone is a separate little part of the restaurant, and it's different layers of different ice cream. The highlight being the Palmer House, which has no connection to the hotel. Oh, come on, it must. And that is the cherries and walnut layer. That's just incredible. I did go to La Scala, the great opera house. I'm a big fan of opera. I should tell you that Wagner's Flying Dutchman is coming to the Civic Opera. That's awesome. And anyway, I went to La Scala and saw a great opera. And so, you know, the headlines in because I was there, the headlines were La Scala and Gentlemen. So that was kind of nice for me. Rand Paul continues to go after that route. That what do I call him? What do I call him? Hoggle. Do you remember Hoggle from David Bowie's Labyrinth? Hoggle. That is Anthony Fauci. Rand Paul continues to go after him. And by the way, isn't it something? Everything I said about all of that and all of the, you know, the wet market and this and that. Well, Jon Stewart and I actually agree on this too. Isn't it amazing? It's all true. These mystery deaths. What could it be? What could it be? All this death all of a sudden. What's the connection? What's the connection? You know what the connection is. And you've always known. I've got 2 mommies. You remember that book? Did you read that book? They had my daughters read that book. I've got 2 mommies and they scissor. I'm adopted because my mommies don't. I've got 2 mommies. I like to watch. How old are you? 18. Okay. All right. Perfect then. Yeah, I guess. And now I would like to do an impression. Do we have another video? And I'll do my impression. I got to get in the mood here to do my impression. What's another video?
I took a fish head out to hear a Mancow podcast. Didn't have to pay to let it listen.
So that's Robert Hamer, who just passed away. He wrote the song Fish Heads. And so I play that video off my phone in honor of him, the great Robert Hamer. Okay, rhinos. Rhinos are about rhinos, Republicans name only, about as useful as get rid of that image of him. It's creeping me out with his shirt off. Rhinos about as useless as pants on a prostitute. And, oh, by the way, they have the attack on Christ continues. If you're Christian or Catholic, rather, in Massachusetts, you can't adopt. I've got 2 mommies. They like to scissor. My mommies, I like watching them. 18-year-old little bird there is what we're doing here. Okay, my impression now. The robot or reptilian, you ready? Is he robot? Is he reptilian? Is he robot? Is he reptilian? Huh? Robot or reptilian? This is the Lion's Den. Hope you knew that before you tuned in. This is where the angels and the devils fight. And they're choosing up sides tonight. Me, I'm part man, part monkey, part mystery. And the angels and the devils are playing tug of war with my personality. Who will win? I'm thinking angels. I hope you'll pick a side. If you haven't picked a side yet, you're going to hell. If you don't know yet, you're going to hell. I can't say that, can I? I don't like reptiles. I don't understand people have reptiles. I don't get it. Oh, my impression. I've been working on this for you. Here we go. You ready? This is my impression. Here we go. Would it be great to simplify things if on restroom doors, keep it real simple, balls, no balls? Would that be great? Okay, we're going to end the show with this. So as soon as this impression is done, we're going to end the show. Okay, here we go. Mark Farner, thank you. Here we go. All scientists agree. Remember the chewing gum commercials and the cigarettes commercials, everything? Scientists, doctors agree. All scientists agree when you punish the ones that don't agree. Remember that. Chicken face. Okay. I like to teach children about Jesus when they come to my table at a restaurant uninvited. Hey, tell your parents about John 3:16. And I teach them John 3:16. You want your kid to sit at my table? I teach them Bible verses. Oh, boy, will that upset a Buddhist. Okay. Balls, no balls. What do you think? You like it? Okay, here we go. Reptilian or robot or computer generated. I'm telling you, a lot of the video I'm seeing of Putin, he looks computer generated to me. Sure looks like, artificial intelligence. Have you looked at some of these Putin videos? Okay, here we go. Is he a reptile or a robot? Or just loaded up on the adrenochrome? Here we go. This is my impression. Now get ready. Ralph, this is your moment to not look like a total fuck up like every week. Here we go. Are you ready? Here we go, Ralph. This is it, man. As soon as I do it, like 1, 2, 3. But I bet he wants me to hit it right now. Okay. So I'm going to do the impression. And then you go 1, 2, 3 in your head and then end the show. And it'll be good timing. Ralph, you ready? Here we go. My impression, 3 seconds, Ralph. My impression of Mitch McConnell, reptile robot or computer generator. Here we go.